So last time, after finding the Amber Temple and inside of it, Malkar, the group began making their way through the early sections of the temple, only to be attacked by a band of barbarians and something that seemed to be shooting them from the head of a statue across the room. As Malkar said that he would attempt to help the group through the temple and proceeded to spider climb his way out to the center of the room on the ceiling. There were a couple of loud blasts as fireballs detonated on his location. And he fell from the 60-foot ceiling down to the floor below. And subsequently, after taking one failed save on that, rolled a natural 1 on his actual death save, and, well, it would appear that Malkar is no longer with us, and his body is still lying in the dark at the bottom of this main chamber of the Amber Temple. Upon kind of making a tactical retreat of sorts, bottlenecking the berserkers and the leader, and as well as the dire wolf that had accompanied them, the group used their surroundings to their advantage, as the thing in the statue seemed to not really care who it was throwing fireballs at so much as just, hey, look, there's the thing, I should probably kill it. So as the remnants of the berserkers were either scorched or scattered, party made it out alive to the front of the Amber Temple once again, with the snow and wind blowing all around them. Pretty beat up, but barring the one who had already kind of left their ranks for a while, everyone survived. And finding yourselves in that position, what's the plan?
It was pretty close to night, right?
Yeah, you spent a long day traveling, and it was already around dusk when you arrived at the temple.
So we should probably, well, rest.
Rest sounds good.
Yep.
Okay.
Rest is a good figure everything out tomorrow.
All right. So yeah, I mean, what's the plan here? You've got
That's the plan.
Okay.
Whatever the DM thinks will be most likely for us to live.
Oh yeah, that's totally a resource you have at your disposal, right?
Yep.
Uh-huh. Okay. So yeah, you kind of round everyone up and cast the hut in such a way that you're able to cover not only your humanoid companions here, but you could probably also sneak the horse in as well, so as to avoid any.
Please save the horse.
All right.
Huh?
Please save the horse.
Please save the horse. Yeah. And so as you do that, I mean, is anyone keeping watch, or is everyone just going to kind of pass out within the tiny hut?
We should definitely have watches. I can take first watch.
I can't see. So.
Well, I know I can see. I know Dane can see. Can either Octavio or Esmeralda see? Or, Muriel?
I think Muriel probably could.
Yeah, let me verify that. I think Muriel could. As
she needs
far
to bite
as...
me already.
Gosh, stop trying to become a were-raven.
Seriously. Hmm.
Ah,
So, yeah, no, there's no mention here of dark vision.
that's what I thought you said last time.
I remember discussing this for a raven, but not for a were-raven, so.
Oh,
Now you
I
know.
thought it was for a were-raven. Maybe maybe I looked it up on myself. I don't know. So only me and Dade could see in the dark.
Pretty much.
That's nice.
Well, we could do 4-hour shifts and sleep in really late. I could do 4 hours and you can do 4 hours, and then when light breaks, we both can sleep for 4 hours where everyone else gets up.
Well, I mean, we're all in the bubble, so
Yeah.
I can watch inside the bubble. I can have it dimly lit in here.
Can you? How
So-
far can he see out from
I
his
can't.
dim bubbles? Okay, why would I need you to watch inside the bubble when nothing can come inside the bubble?
I don't know. We don't. Why? What do we care outside the bubble?
He could block the stairs with the bubble as well, so nothing can come
Because
up through
things
there.
can surround us. Your bubble pops at some point.
Yeah, but
It should be light by then.
then let me take middle watch, and then whoever's got last watch can look outside the bubble.
Oh. Maybe we should do the last 2 watches. Sleep for 4 hours and then do 2 and 2.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll take the last one.
Okay.
Whatever.
Alright.
I turn and go to sleep.
Okay, so that's nobody for 4 hours, and then 2 hours apiece for the last 8, or the last 4, I should say.
Yeah.
Okay. And who is taking the first of the 2 watches?
That would be me.
Okay. So yeah, the group hunkers down and gets 4 hours of collective sleep before Yoan wakes up and takes up his watch for the evening. Everything so far seems to have remained undisturbed, and I think as Yoan is doing his best to keep awake and kind of scanning the surroundings, go ahead and make a perception check.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh no.
um, so I think you think that you see something over somewhere off to the right of the temple entrance, and probably not wanting to leave the bubble, but wanting to get a closer look, you kind of lean in that direction and you're squinting, trying to make out what it could be. And as you turn around and face back out away from the Ember Temple itself, you see standing there a massive creature. Something probably 14, 15 feet tall, quadrupedal, with large, twisted antlers.
I will squeak in surprise.
Yoan squeaks.
When I see something 14 foot tall, I squeak.
And I think standing next to that creature, or, well, I think I'll let Brown paint the picture as to how this whole thing is going on.
Top the creature's back.
Okay.
You see a roughly 7.5 foot tall Goliath with a great axe on his back, drinking from a jug. Currently wearing a bear pelt with the head still attached as a hat. He gets down off big creature in front of you and inspects the bubble.
Which is a forest green to blend in.
Okay. Who are you?
I don't think sound passes the bubble.
Well,
Hmm.
okay.
I know sight doesn't if you choose it not to.
Do we have a see-through bubble or a not see-through bubble?
It is not see-through.
Okay. I just realized how
I can't make it
scientific I
see-through.
made that.
Oh,
Opaque bubble.
Yeah, I can make it. I can make it so we can see out, but nothing can see in, and I can't change that.
Okay.
I guess I'll just say,
Can you
who
hear?
said that?
Can you hear outside the bubble?
Yes, he can. I just looked at the spell and it doesn't say anything about blocking sound.
Okay.
No. Okay.
So if Dane was snoring really loudly, then he would have heard us. Because dwarves, I mean. Everyone knows dwarves snore loudly. Maybe like, I am currently in the green bubble that you see before you. Hiding. Well, sleeping.
I want to like poke the bubble with my finger.
Hard as
Yeah, there's strangely no give to it at all. It's just like a solid, almost stone-like surface that just seems entirely impervious to any outward forces.
Can you not break the bubble?
You're saying that to me?
Yeah.
Don't think so.
Just don't. Please don't touch the bubble. Who are you? And why are you here?
My name's Greg. I was wandering around looking for a specific creature.
What kind of creature?
A creature of legend. Name is Sangzor.
What kind of creature is he?
A BFG. Stands for big fucking goat.
Okay. Really big goat. Okay.
Do I wake up at all this conversation they're having?
You're probably like just beginning to realize, oh shit, there's something going on.
Has there been spottings of this BFG around here? Can you hear me?
Ooh.
Oh, I was muted. I said I've seen glimpses of it once or twice off of a distance. Other than that, I've never gotten close to it.
Okay. Well, I haven't seen it. Oh. Sorry about that bad news.
What was he riding in on?
So I think now that the sudden panic has maybe subsided a little bit, enough at least for Yoan to have a conversation. Yeah, you notice that there is a giant elk standing outside the bubble.
How much time has passed?
Since you cast it, or like
Yeah.
what's? I mean, we're probably like 5 hours into the bubble's time.
All right, fuck it. I'm running outside. I'm popping the bubble, and I'm gonna run
Yeah,
up to
and
it.
just
Yep.
there it goes.
So you see all of a sudden see the bubble pop, and you're standing essentially face to face with Yoan.
And fun note, anyone who was still asleep inside the bubble, which was nice and climate controlled, there is a sudden blast of cold, wintry air and snow.
I would like to know what Ron sleeps in, so to know how cold he is at this point. Since he
well,
woke up and just ran out of the bubble.
yeah, just a regular, like, just shirt and, like, nothing. It's basically your average sleepwear of the time. Like a silk shirt and, like, real nice, like, pajama pants.
Average, he says.
Yeah, average
Well,
silk.
Average
Just
for a
average
bard.
silk. Okay.
Average for a bard, he says.
Yeah. So, I'll get out there and realize, yeah, it is kind of cold.
First world bard problems.
Still gonna examine the thing.
Yeah, it's a gigantic elk. It stands about 14 feet tall. And, yeah.
How do you even get up on it?
I mean, how tall is this giant barbarian guy?
7 foot plus, like 7.5, I think, right?
7, 8.
7, 8, okay.
Yeah.
Big
Grab
motherfucker.
grab its neck. Pull yourself up. You not gotten on a horse bareback before? I guess probably not a lot of people have gotten on horses bareback before.
Ron reaches up like he's trying to grab the neck. He can't even grab it.
Like as tall as its leg.
Basically. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
maybe you
picturing.
can, like, stretch up and scratch its belly.
Yeah. So, after that, I just kind of shiver, and I'll walk back over and put on all my warm clothes and start casting my tiny hut again.
Okay.
So,
I ask him what he's doing. I haven't seen it before.
I'm making another bubble. If you want to get inside, I think we have room still. Then you can at least come in here where it's warm and talk.
I'm used to the cold, but I'll join you.
Well, none of us are. So,
Yeah, and I think you do notice as he says that, like, yeah, he's wearing a bear pelt, but it doesn't cover everything, and, like, there's no visible frostbite anywhere.
Just for reference, that's what the bear pelt looks like. I don't have any of that other stuff on though.
and that's all you're wearing is just a bear pelt.
I mean, I got like a loincloth on and stuff.
Oh. Say, well, what color is your skin?
Gray.
I'll say, are you sure you're not just numb from the cold? You're looking a
Regal
little...
Eye. What?
Huh?
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, you're looking a little pale there.
This is the natural color of my skin. Regal Eyes typically live in the mountains where it's cold.
Oh, so that's what you are. Huh? I thought you were a giant.
We are descendants of giants.
But you're not gonna rip our heads off.
Not unless you give me a reason to.
Fair enough.
I guess I hunker down and sit down on the cold stone.
Okay. And, yeah, so not all that long after you settle in, another bubble appears, and Yeah, you find that you can see your surroundings at least reasonably well through it now.
And it's climate controlled. It's nice.
I like poke the bubble from the inside.
You pass right through it. It's nothing.
Hmm.
And I'll say, you can come and go as you please. The only one who cannot leave is, well, me.
Such strange magic.
This isn't the half of it. Have you ever been a giant eagle? Or a bear?
The elk is the closest thing to a bear I've been on.
No, I'm not talking about being on. I'm talking about being.
How would someone turn into an animal?
The same magic that, and I walk over and like knock on the bubble. Same magic that this does.
Does your hand pass through the bubble when you try to knock on it?
No, I can't pass. I mean, if I pass through it, it pops. So I'm like essentially knocking on the edge of it. I'm not gonna pass through it.
Yeah, we'll say that maybe you could like put a little bit outside, but if you pass fully outside the bubble or something,
Yeah.
then it is no more.
The elk is so huge.
Is the elk inside the bubble too?
No. It will,
Doubtful.
I'm like,
it is a 10-foot by 10-foot by 10-foot bubble.
the elk would not fit.
Yeah, no.
I barely fit in it.
I mean, yeah. Oh well. Well, you said you're looking for a goat?
Yes, but it can wait until daylight.
Well, Hey, I got an idea. How about you help us? How about you help us with this, and we'll help you find your goat?
What do you need help with?
Well, our friend, well, my friend, went in and got himself killed in there, and I'm trying to get his body out. But,
Where's it at? Inside?
just down the stairs, and I'll point, and you go down the stairs, and then take a right, and go down some more stairs, and you'll see his body right there. The thing is, there's some more of those magic types down there, and they hurt really, really badly. If you could help me even by distracting the things that throw magic so that I can get in there and grab him, I can get him out.
I'm pretty quick. I might be able to just run in and scoop him up. Run out.
Okay. It's up to you. But yeah, if we can get him out, and then I like the rest of the group, maybe we can go help you with your elk situation and then come back.
Sounds
So
good to me.
you're gonna use him to help you retrieve Melkar's body, and then we're gonna find a goat.
Yeah, I figure it's not too hard. How hard can it be to find a goat? We could probably find the goat and then come back.
How long have you been searching for this goat?
Since I originally found out about it,
How long ago was that?
not too sure. I don't really keep track of time.
But you're an expert at finding things, Joan.
Okay. I can try.
I mean, if it's here, there's no way that it's getting away.
It lives in these mountains.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess we can do that.
Alright, but first, Melkar.
I will light a torch.
Oh, yeah, first, can we sleep?
I can go get his body real quick and come back.
You can't get him in here.
Well, from what you were saying, he's dead. He's not going to need it.
Right now,
but
he's an inanimate object.
Technically, this is true. He is no longer a living creature.
oh, so he could just come through.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
Corpses are not animate objects, hopefully.
Well, give me my long rest, and it will be.
And just have Malcolm walk himself out.
Mm-hmm.
Where exactly did you say the body was?
I will
Down
draw
the
you a
stairs.
map in the dirt.
Yeah.
Alright, I want to go on in.
All right, so let me. I'll tell you what. Let's have you and the things inside roll some initiative. And I will assume that people told him like how far away people have been fireballed by the bad things inside.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we'll kind of take it in pseudo combat style here.
I'll say, by the way, you're safe once you get to those charred bodies. If you go past those, then you can get hit.
Initiative thing's not coming up, so I'm gonna roll it normal from the character sheet.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh,
Okay.
it's still Whisper. Rolled an at 20.
Well, I see it. It went up on the turn order.
All right. So, going from there, and I'll actually place you in the right spot here. Wait, like right about there. Okay, so from that point, I think Greg's gonna get to go first with that 23. So, what you doing?
I want to get up right to the edge of where they described people getting shot at.
Yeah, that's where I've placed you right now.
Alright.
I couldn't hear you. What?
I want to rage with my bonus action, and then which gives me 15 extra feet of movement. So I'll be up to
Okay.
5 feet, and then I want to use movement and dash to get down those stairs and find the body.
Okay, so let me see here. So that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Yeah, you can make it all the way to Melkar, following the instructions that you were given. So I'll put you there. And so you've used your movement and action and bonus action. So I guess by default, that's it.
Would picking up his body count as donning a weapon since I have such a huge carrying capacity?
Is
I don't know
picking
about that one.
up a free action.
Not so much.
Okay.
Okay. So then, I I think you see what to the player of this character is a very familiar sight in flickering green flame, kind of around the arrow holes in the side of the chamber, and you were running in at a sprint. So here's how this is going to work. You weren't sneaking. They weren't necessarily keeping an eye out for you, and they haven't been alerted by the other thing yet. So it's just going to be, if they notice, they notice. And I'll make a quick check for that. Kind of reasonable DC, but there's always the chance that they just don't notice you. All right. So you do see the dancing green flames flickering through the arrow holes at the far end of the opposite side of the chamber. However, you don't see anything seemingly launching an assault on you yet. That, however, is going to change once you see a little beam of fiery light focus in on you from the head of the statue at the far end of the room, which, let's see, with the distance you've got on that light and all the other lighting that's going on in this room, let me see what you can see. No, you're not able to make out really anything. You can possibly see like the feet of the statue in the very, very distant darkness, but you just see this little ray kind of focus in on you, and I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Can I see the ray?
Yeah, I mean you can see the ray, so yeah, if you're trying to use danger sense, which I'm guessing is what you're going for, yeah, I think you could do that. Okay. All right. Cool. So, yeah, this ray kind of focuses in on you, and you kind of do your best to maybe just duck behind a fallen bit of debris or something, doing at least what you can to mitigate the damage that you're about to take.
Alright, so I got half, or if it does half from succeeding, then I also have half from resistance.
Yeah, so you did succeed, so you're going to take quarter damage from the forthcoming fireball. And we'll see how that works out.
Oh boy.
Sorry.
Squeak. Okay. So you take 6 points of fire damage. As there's just this loud and yeah. I think you see the body in front of you that that was already pretty charred and nigh unrecognizable. The vast majority of it is just blown away at this point. Only a few little scraps of clothing left, virtually no flesh left. It's just a blackened skeleton lying on the floor in front of you.
Is there still items and whatnot there?
There are a few items. And let me take a look and see exactly what you'll see. Because a lot of what this person seems to have been carrying has been essentially disintegrated or melted or whatever might be appropriate. But amidst the ruins of clothing and maybe a weapon and some armor, there's a broken vial. Let's see. There's a lot of stuff that's just vaporized here. But you do see resting at its side, there is a rod that seems to have the head of a wolf, sort of formed to its base, and somehow it seems untouched, as well as a ring around one of its fingers. Beyond that, though, I think everything else is totaled.
Is there just a skeleton laying there?
Yeah, basically.
Can I just pick up those 2 items and run back?
So you're not even gonna try and gather the bones up? Just
Would I be able to just like scoop it all up in one turn, or is that not possible?
I mean, it would be challenging, but it's possible, I suppose. I would have you make call it a dex check just to kind of get in, quickly round everything up, and then take off.
All right.
Okay. So yeah, I think you grab most of it, like probably a few of the ruined possessions and stuff, and maybe between you and me you miss a bone or two, but for the most part, yeah, I think you get most of the remains. And so that's going to be your action.
All right.
So you do still have your movement that you could use to at least begin running for cover.
It's 55 feet back up the stairs and towards the exit.
Okay, I can move you here. So, there. Gets you to about that point. And yeah, and was there anything you wanted to do with the bonus action?
Don't think I can use it to dash.
You cannot.
That's it.
Okay. So let's see here. All right. So you see a familiar beam focusing in on you, not from the opposite end of the chamber, but from one of the sides where you'd seen the green flickering flame. And I'm going to need you to make a dex save for that. Okay. Cool. So yeah, you make that save. And so I roll some more damage.
I hope the remains are protected since I'm carrying it.
All right, so it's quarter because of danger sense, right?
Half of it is succeeded, and then my bear totem Makes me have resistance to all damage.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay.
All except psychic.
Yeah. So we've got that. Okay, yeah. Had to read up on that real quick. Cool. So yes, an 18 makes it, so that's half, and then bear totem, that is half again. So you take 7 points of fire damage. And let's see. Yeah, it's going a little better for you this time, right?
Helps when I have like triple the HP.
Okay. And then the thing at the far end is it's going to throw something a little less potent at you this time, I think. So
Alright.
that's going to be let me see if it hits first.
18 AC. Naked.
Okay. Yeah, no, it does not roll an 18. So you see like a small little blast of flame kind of detonate at your feet, but
That little shit just try to produce flame him?
something close to that.
Oh.
Firebolt.
Yeah. And Becca, with regards to what you whispered me, them's the rules.
They should be edited. That's pretty ridiculous.
Fun fact, that's what Kevdak was in Critical Role. That's why he was so obscenely resilient.
If I remember who that was, that would be helpful.
He was
Frog's
Frog's
uncle.
uncle. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I figured, but
But yeah, so a little puff of fire at the Goliath's feet, and you just, I assume, keep running, yeah?
Yeah, since I already have his body picked up, I want to just dash all the way back outside.
Okay, and yeah, you're able to do that with no issue.
About the time we heard the first boom, I lean over to Dane and I say, I bet you he died.
Who died? I'm sleeping. I was sleeping.
Oh, you didn't see that big Goliath man that just ran back? Oh, there he is.
Oh.
I guess he didn't.
Who's that?
Dane's
Oh,
a heavy.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Dane. I didn't realize that. Well,
He needed his beauty rest.
all right. When he shows back up, I'll just be like, oh wow, you survived. I heard a couple booms in there and figured, well, maybe you met the same fate as Melkar.
Just some minor scorchings, but friend's corpse didn't fare too well.
Oh. Shit. Is Rictavio awake at this point?
Yeah, I think unless somebody is making a concerted effort to continue sleeping through the cold wind that kind of broke in for a second, and then the loud booms from inside the temple, all of which you can hear perfectly fine. Yeah, it's safe to assume everybody's awake.
Alright, I'll look over to Rictavio and say, is there something you can do to this still? Like, I don't know how that works. I'm not real versed in that.
He looks over the blackened bones of Melkar and says, "Well, I'm not gifted with resurrection magics myself anyway, so I'm not entirely sure what you expect me to be able to accomplish, I suppose."
I was just wondering if if that body is too far gone to resurrect.
Well, that is a bit outside of my area of expertise, but perhaps if we brought him back to Kresk, the abbot might have something to say on the matter.
That could be true. Can we put him in your in the cart? I know it's
Of
kind of
course.
nasty, but um, did you point out the items too, or is it just the remains?
Just kind of holding a pile of bones and stuff.
All right, I guess I'll poke through his stuff and pick up the. What is it, like a mace or is it a staff?
It is a rod,
A
which
rod.
is, yeah, it's a little different. I'd think of it almost like a scepter kind of thing.
Oh hell yeah, I'm picking that up. I'm like, huh.
Little bigger than a wand, a little smaller than like a staff.
All right, I'll pick it up and say, I don't remember him getting that. What else? There's a ring.
Yeah, there's a ring around his finger that seems to have almost a brain-like pattern, uh, kind of contained within the like the mounting area of the ring. It's bluish in color, almost like this brain-like thing is made of uh, like a sapphire or something along those lines.
All right, I will. I'll slip it off and kind of inspect it. Can I Arcana check it?
Um, sure.
Just as a base inspection.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like looking at the status of the ring as compared to just about everything else that's somehow still kind of clinging to Malkar's corpse. Um, the fact that it's not been blown to smithereens or melted down or anything to that effect certainly suggests uh, some kind of magical quality to it.
All right, I'll slip it on.
Okay.
Do I feel anything immediately, or is it something that I feel I would have to attune to?
Well, let me take a quick look at this.
You
So-
won't even try to identify it. You'll just put it on.
Yep. Well, I mean, Melkar was wearing it, so it couldn't be that bad.
Yeah, you know, Malkar the vampire. No big deal, right?
Eh.
The one you were
Um,
fleeing from for your life.
No,
Yeah,
I was
that
fleeing
one.
from Babalai Saga. You were fleeing from Melkar.
Um,
At the beginning, you were fleeing from both.
anyway, as Ron does this really stupid and reckless thing, um, the presence that is within the ring notices that it's now able to interact with someone.
Seeing him doing something stupid, I want to make my sword bright again.
Just in case there be vampires.
I
Or he
burst
needs
into
to do it.
flames. I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
But yeah, so is there anything that I don't know anyone involved in this situation would like to say?
I want to ask Ron how he feels.
I feel fine. I don't know. Maybe it's just a really cool ring. I'll spend some time with it and see, but I'll try to slip it off. Can I take it off?
Yeah.
So see, I'm fine. You know, I'll set it on the ground for a second and say, yeah, see, I'm fine. Pick it back up and put it back on. Say, yeah, I'll inspect it and see if I can figure out what it is.
Would I know who's wearing the ring?
I would say that's reasonable.
Say,
So-
Ron, is that you?
I'll look around. uh, do I recognize the voice?
Yeah, so in your head, you hear the voice of Melkar.
Melkar, are you still alive? I say that in my head.
Depends on what you mean alive.
Well, I hear you. You're alive then, right?
Not really.
Where are you?
My soul is currently trapped in the ring.
In this ring? And I like kind of look at it.
Yes.
Well, we can go to the abbot and get you out of here.
You can try, but I don't believe I can be forced out.
Well, wait, why would you be forced out? I was talking about we could resurrect you.
We'll see.
Well, or I guess you could be my buddy forever.
Take me to the abbot.
In due time, we have to help this giant fellow here who actually saved you from, well, I guess he didn't really save you from much, but he at least brought the ring to me. So we have to help him, then we can head to the abbot.
Where's my body?
You don't want to look at that. Let's just say that we may need to get you another one of those.
You hear like this kind of faint crackling and crumbling sound from inside the wagon.
Yep. Hear a bone hit the floor. Dagnabbit!
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, if that conversation's over. Yeah, so here you are. Still kind of in the middle of your long rest.
Yeah.
Can I attune to this over the long rest?
I would allow it.
Okay.
And, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'll lay down and begin mine. Drink some ale out of my jug.
Actually,
Okay.
you'd be pretty close to... Because this bubble doesn't pop for 8 hours, so I just cast it. So you should be fine.
Well, yeah, as long as you don't leave.
I'm not planning on going anywhere.
All right. So yeah, Ron attunes to this ring, and I mean, I think you've already talked to Brown about what it is, but yeah, you have a ring of mind shielding.
Alright.
Go ahead and add one of those to your inventory.
Okay.
And yeah, I think the rest of the evening goes by pretty uneventfully. You just see the snow kind of billowing and blowing around you, and hold up in your nice climate-controlled hut. Not a bad sleep. So, in probably the later hours of the morning, as the newest member of the party is finishing up his rest, yeah, I imagine everyone's just about ready to go wherever they might be going today. And yeah, so what's the plan?
So we get our long rest?
Yes.
Sweet. go through and activate all my spells.
Like getting 13 health back.
Spells.
Okay.
Spells.
I have spells, inspiration, luck. I have so much shit I gotta turn on.
Also noticed the elk is gone.
The elk is, in fact, gone.
Where'd the elk go?
My animals disappeared in the morning. I pull out the bag and I want to toss another thing.
Okay, so, yeah, and what color is your bag again?
Gray.
Okay.
I can roll it if you want.
Yeah, go for it.
Another elk appears.
So yeah, he reaches into this bag that he pulled from his side and throws out this like weird kind of nondescript fuzzy ball of fuzziness. And as soon as it travels a few feet and eventually hits the ground, it just whoosh, expands out into another gigantic elk.
Cool.
Huh. Imagine that.
Doesn't always turn into an elk though.
What else could it be?
Bring up my items.
How the hell do you ride this thing anyway?
Like this, and I get on.
So you like kind of swing up by the thing's neck.
Huh. And I kind of like reach up, nope, I can't reach.
I reach down with one hand to help try and pull you up.
I reach again. I still really can't reach you.
Answer the question about what else it could be. It could be direwolf, a giant badger, panther, or a regular badger, a giant rat, or a weasel.
Ooh. A weasel would be cool.
I lift up Ron to help him get up.
Hey!
Sure, we can fit a few people up here.
I prefer to walk,
I'm like looking
or
around.
ride on the thing. Well, we're looking for a giant goat. Okay.
How big is a giant goat? Like, as big as an elk?
Roughly.
I think from what you've seen, it's actually just a smidgen smaller than the elk.
Oh.
Okay. I'll cast locate creature. Try and locate giant goat.
A giant goat.
I mean, I figure a goat is pretty familiar to me, so a larger one should be able to be pretty easy to, you know.
You're locating a BFG, aren't you? A big fucking goat? Or was that just what he called it?
That's what Eric called it, so I figured I'd call it too.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. So we'll say you kind of put out the feelers for a giant goat, and yeah, maybe you. I think you can just barely feel the presence of something to that effect. Back toward the fork in the road that you found on your way in here after traversing the Salenka Pass.
Okay, well, There's a giant goat, back towards where the fork of the road was. So, I guess I will get up on the giant elk. Well, I will get help to get up on the giant elk, because I can't reach it by myself. And point the way.
Okay.
Would I have 10 minutes to do a ritual for deep with animals?
I mean, if you'd like to delay finding your glorious giant goat for 10 minutes, I guess that's your prerogative.
Or you
Wait,
can do it on the way.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, can I do it while, like, when I have enough time before we got there? You know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing. I think if you were just like sitting on top of the wagon, that would be feasible, but riding is a pretty active thing. Um,
It
so,
depends on how fast you're going, and if you're the one controlling.
well, I can't imagine anybody else is steering the giant elk.
Yeah.
Ron wants to, but he's not going to say anything.
I would definitely not suggest that Ron control the giant elk.
Ron really wants to control the giant elk.
Alright, I guess we'll just head out when everyone's ready.
Okay. So no ritual then, to clarify?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you head back through the kind of minor mountain passes that have led you to the face of the Amber Temple and back to the mountainside road that kind of spits you out right back at the Selenka Pass. Let's see here. I think it's not too long before you reach a kind of narrow, again, mountainside road, just large enough for the elk to kind of very carefully make its way along. And let's
When you
see.
see it, can I jump down and off the elk and rage?
So what is everyone's passive perception?
My passive perception is 10.
14.
11.
16?
Okay. Good to know. All right.
I suddenly feel very receptive. Compared to you lot.
Okay. So, you are making your way along this narrow mountainside road. Probably, single file in the case of anyone who's traveling with a large animal. But otherwise, I think you could probably go too wide here. Can I get a marching order?
I'll be in the front.
I'm directly behind Greg.
I guess I'm behind Baron.
At some point in this path, I would like to message Greg and say, hey, can I drive this? You can respond to this message.
After we find the goat and take care of it.
Ron looks visibly excited.
When we get closer to the goat, I want to jump off the elk.
What are we doing with this goat? Are we killing this goat?
200.
No. I want to ask Greg.
Yeah, I'm hunting it.
Okay, you're not keeping it as a pet so I can kill it?
It's not exactly friendly.
Okay.
Do you just want to kill the goat by yourself, or do you want us to, kill the goat with you?
Either is fine.
You just hear Ron giggling maniacally behind him.
Anyways, when we're 200 feet away from the goat, I want to get off and start standing up with Dane in the front,
Okay.
cracking the
Let's
goat.
see. I think. I mean, it's a bit of a hike. Like you get the majority of the way back to that bridge that led you out of the Solinka Pass. And I think by then your locate creature spell has probably faded.
Oh,
If you'd like to cast it again, you can.
Yeah, I'll cast it again.
Okay. So you do that, and go ahead and give me a perception check.
Everybody or just Yoan?
Just Yoan, because of the circumstances.
Let me include something with that. I don't know if that helps at all. But
I mean, it's good to know,
I'm gonna try.
but given the circumstances, it's probably not going to help that much. Because as the circumstances go, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, anyone, but I think what I've got here for a marching order is Dane up front with Greg leading the elk behind him. Ron directly behind. Then we've got Yoan and the NPCs kind of bringing up the rear.
I'm still on the elk.
Okay.
Yeah. That me, you, and Greg are on the elk. Right?
Yep.
Okay.
Because we're not within 200 feet of the thing.
Well, funny you should mention that. I think, Yoan, you feel that it's about 200 or so feet away and actually closing.
Oh, well then I'm off of the elk by Dane.
Do you say anything?
I'll say that it's close. I mean, I'll probably tell you it's close when I get off.
Okay.
I want to get off as well.
Okay.
I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be perceiving. Because I know how far it is from me
Yep.
in the direction in where
Yeah.
it's moving.
Yep.
So maybe it's secretly a narwhal. And I can't tell.
But yeah, and I think, Yoan, you get the sense that it is rapidly closing on your location.
Well, the goat's coming to us.
Where's it at?
And it's
Very
difficult
quickly.
to see, but I think Yoan's able to kind of point in a general direction.
I'm standing
And
up on the
as-
elk.
Okay.
And looking.
And as he does that, suddenly from the snowy mists of the mountainside in Barovia, you see this large goat come barreling down the mountainside toward.
I would
Let's
like
see.
to rage.
As I see this, can I cast greater invisibility on myself?
You can, but not before the goat takes an action, because it was already in the middle of something.
Oh boy.
We are not surprised by it. Because I told you all there's a goat coming.
Yes, this could have been considerably worse.
Was I able to get the rage off?
Sure, because it's just a thing that, yeah, was kind of announced, and it's not targeted. Like it just kind of came into your field of view. Okay. So the goat comes barreling down the mountainside at you, and takes a flying leap off of a little outcropping on the side of the mountain and comes flying in toward Ron.
Oh, fucking course.
And
Hits the goat or the elk instead.
that's going to be a 22 to hit Ron.
I'm gonna go ahead and make it re-roll using luck.
All right. That's going to be a 23 to hit Ron.
Yeah.
Damn it. Alright, can I also cutting words it?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to cutting words it, and, what is it? It is...
D8.
It's your inspiration, right?
Yep.
Gonna roll a 1.
Yep. Alright, I'm just...
It's
I'm
meant
just
to be.
gonna go, oh, don't hurt me! Ah! And it hits me, yeah, of course.
So the goat comes flying in, leaps off this outcropping, horns down toward Ron, and let me roll damage. And I'm gonna need a strength save from Ron.
Okay.
Ron's getting out of the session.
Okay. So first things first, Ron, you take 9 points of bludgeoning damage as this ends.
Alright.
And let's see here. All right, so I think what happens then is you're kind of knocked off balance, but you are able to just barely hang on to kind of by the scruffy, shaggy fur on its back. And the goat kind of like scrambles down the side of the elk and just kind of like drags its hoof along the ground as though it's preparing to charge once again.
Oh boy.
And so, just want you to know, Ron, that could have turned out a hell of a lot worse.
Yep, I figured out it probably could have. So, yeah.
Okay, let me see if this cool initiative thing that was broken is now unbroken. Because that would be nice. Oh, yeah.
What? So are we
Okay,
still rolling our own? Or...
Well, hold on. Let's make sure this is visible to everybody.
Yep. Is that the... what is that first thing? Oh, it's the elk. Okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out what the fuck it is.
Yeah. So okay, it didn't put tiebreakers in there, but other than that, it worked, and all I had to do was like group select everybody and hit a single button. So that was awesome.
Was that with advantage?
What?
I have advantage on initiative rolls.
Yeah, go ahead and roll again, and we'll give you the higher of the two.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. So,
Sorry, I punched myself in the face trying to move my mic so I didn't sneeze into it. So I will be back.
Okay.
oh, did you like hurt yourself? I guess we'll see. Okay.
I needed to
So-
take my headset off to put my glasses back on, right?
Oh, I see. All right. So, yeah, then I think the elk gets to move. Is it directly in Greg's control, or is it just like friendly?
Takes action whatever I tell it to do. Otherwise, if it doesn't have a command, it just does whatever a giant elk would typically do.
Run away.
I don't know. I mean, it's a goat that's smaller than it.
That just ran down it.
Like, I think the giant elk probably, I don't know, takes an elk swing at it.
Yeah. Throws a
Lowers
punch.
its antlers.
Let's see. Well, it has both a ram attack and a hooves attack. So, I think it's going to be hooves because it's like shorter and it's going to try and stomp on it. Oh, except no, that has to be a prone creature. So I guess Ron is hanging on for dear life as the elk turns around and like scoops at the goat. Uh, with
last
its, huh?
That last paragraph describes the commanding thing.
Oh, and it acts on your turn. That's good to know.
Oh, it's good that it rolled the
Uh.
same initiative.
Yeah.
Yeah. um, okay. So then in that case, is Greg giving it any specific orders, or seeing that it's already looking like it's about to attack the thing, are you just going to let it do that?
I want it to stand down. It's mine.
Okay. The elk kind of looks at you a little begrudgingly, but sort of snorts and just looks at the goat. And yeah, so what is Greg doing?
Am I able to safely like stand like right underneath the elk there?
I mean, I would say it's not possible to occupy the same space, but if you were to go like there, that could be a thing. You can kind of
Alright.
squeeze by the elk and such and make that happen.
Definitely gonna go there then.
Okay.
I want to recklessly attack
Okay.
with my great axe.
Uh-huh.
And I have brutal criticals, so I need to actually roll another damage die. D12.
Okay. Um, so yeah, you like just hulk out and run like between the legs of the elk and pulling your great axe from your back, just lay into the thing. Let's see, that's a total of 26.
37.
Oh wait.
Those threes are from bonus rage damage.
Oh, okay, that's how you got that laid out. Okay. Well, then in that case, what you guys see is Greg just comes over, and how is Greg going to do this with his first flurry of attacks?
I just want to jump up and like straight down cleave onto its neck, and decapitate it.
Okay, easy enough. And maybe it takes like a couple hits, you know, a couple swings of the axe to fully get the thing off, but that first one is enough to just completely debilitate the thing, and you just keep hacking away at it until you have the head of Sangzor the Bloodhorn separated from its body.
Well, that was easy.
Jeez.
Says Ron as he's still like hanging off the side of the elk.
Yep.
Aw, I wanted to help.
How heavy is this thing? Like the whole body, including the head?
I don't know. How heavy is a giant goat?
My carrying capacity is 1,200 pounds.
I mean, it's definitely less than 1,200 pounds.
I'm going to carry the goat on my shoulders,
Okay.
and then the head in one hand.
All right. Yeah. Let's say this thing is probably. If I had to guess, let's say like 500 pounds.
Alright.
So yes, you have your prize, Sangzor the Bloodhorn.
I'll look over and say, so you came all the way from wherever you came here just to kill that thing.
As the blood's dripping down my entire body, look up to Ron and say, it's supposed to be a legendary creature. Didn't think it was going to be that easy.
I'll cast Prestidigitation and clean the blood off of him. And I'll say, well, you do realize you're stuck here until something happens with the man in the castle, right?
What?
Yeah, you've seen the fog that's all around.
Yes.
Yeah, I wouldn't go in that. If you go too far in it, you're not going out. So we're all stuck here until we take care of the man in the castle. There's a big castle, and I'll just kind of point off in a random direction because I don't know exactly where we are or where the castle is, but there's a man in a castle off that way.
I will
And-
correct his direction.
It definitely needed some correcting.
Yeah, I was pointing the exact opposite. I was actually pointing at some fog, just off in the distance.
And I take his hand and just spin it around.
Okay, yeah, but there's a guy in that castle that we have to take care of. He's keeping everybody trapped here. So, I suppose if you would like to join us, we can at least work together to get out of here.
Where are you from?
I'm from. You're
Greg.
talking to Greg. I'm sorry. I look over at Greg.
I'm from Barovia. I've never been outside of these lands.
And I just look at Ron.
Oh, there's a first for everything. I mean,
There are more big creatures like this and ale.
there's
Yeah.
plenty of ale.
And I'm all
There are
for
big
it.
creatures.
And all the females you can find. I throw a wink at him.
I guess I'm in then.
Okay.
Well, I
the
guess
blood.
since that's done, do we want to just go back up to the Amber Temple?
Yeah. Now we
Sure.
have goat to eat.
Yeah. I mean, do you mind if we eat this?
Not at all.
Alright.
I would like to save the pelt though.
Well, of course. I think Yoan's good at that kind of stuff. I'm not.
Yeah.
What I can do, though, is I can season the meat. And I'll kind of waggle my fingers and send a little sparks. Just prestidigitation, just...
As the more blood drips down on me, I just lick it off my lips.
I'll prestidigitation and clean it off him again.
I look noticeably saddened.
I don't notice.
I guess let's go back to the temple.
Alright.
Take care of whatever was throwing the balls of fire at me.
Oh, I can take care of that.
All right. So, yeah, you all head back to the temple. And it's not been all that long into the day. I mean, probably by the time you get back, you're just over 2 hours into your day since waking up. So, call it probably around noon because you had a late start.
Oh Okay, well, what's our game plan for heading in here and dealing with fireballs?
What are the walls around the arrow slits made out of?
Just about all of the architecture here is done in stone.
Solid stone or cobblestone?
Um, I would say a lot of it is it's done in brick.
So I could take out one of those walls.
Possibly.
While everybody's talking, I would like to walk into about the line of where the charred bodies are. How far away is that statue in the back?
Um, let's see what you can see.
Yeah.
You don't know.
I can't see it.
Nope. It's pitch black in there except for the light coming out of the arrow slits where the like green flame is visible. And the double doors to the room that the berserkers were in, those are still open, and you can see a few lit torches lining the walls in there. If you kind of crane your head around.
I want to tell Greg there's a dire wolf in there.
Want me to take care of it?
Maybe you should wait a little bit. But there's one in there for you to kill.
I set the goat down in the hallway. I want to carry the head though.
Okay.
If someone can get me in there, I can take care of that thing throwing shit at us from across the room. Or if I can
Okay.
see it.
I want to try and make these arrow slits wider.
All right, so
Can
you're
I-
talking about the ones along the entryway?
Yes, not the ones with the fireballs behind them.
Very good. Any preference for left or right?
The side with the berserkers came from, so left.
Okay. Go ahead and just say make a strength check.
Can I assist him?
Sure. All right. So yeah, it takes a few minutes, but you know, with a good bit of uh, elbow grease and assistance from your new friend Greg, you pry a number of the bricks loose from the wall, and you're able to do so in a way that widens up one of the arrow slits to a point where you can now see into the room beyond. And let me see. What kinds of fun things are waiting for you in there? That sounded pretty ominous. It's probably not that ominous.
Are they looking? What room are they looking into?
So let me move you and kind of show you something. So here's the entry stairs that Yoan's currently standing on. Off to the
Give
both
me a
the left.
second. I'm nowhere near there.
I'm not on the right map.
Yeah.
You're not?
No.
We're still
Oh,
on
then
the
move
pass.
Yeah.
Okay. It should have
Okay.
moved you.
Okay.
All right. So where Yoan is,
Yeah.
there
Why
are
am
walls
I
on the left
there?
and right. I just put you there
Why?
to show you.
Oh, okay.
There are arrow slits on the left and right down this hallway.
Uh-huh.
They just pried open the ones on the left, or at least
Okay.
one of the ones on the left, to grant you access to the room beyond them.
Okay.
And let's see. So, as you pry your way in there, you find an empty room. Seems to be about 20 by 20, ceiling 10 feet high. And really the only distinguishing thing about the room is the fact that it has, well, now one arrow slit and a doorway.
So there's no other doors into this room?
Um, You don't see any at the moment. I mean, if you'd like to look, you could certainly do that.
Yes, there better be a door into this room. I want to look for one.
Or
Wanna
whoever
move
built
it.
whoever built the temple is just here to fuck with you.
Want to move the corpse of the goat into one of the corners in here?
Okay. Yeah, anyone who would like to look for perhaps a secret door or something to that effect.
I have
make
advantage on
an-
that as well.
Oh, very good. Make an investigation check.
And I see nothing.
So, what arrow slits were the balls of fire coming from?
So that's like if you go fully ahead into the chamber, there are arrow slits on either side of that large chamber with a statue in it. The fireballs were coming from the arrow slits on your left in that chamber.
If I partially collapse that wall, will the temple start collapsing? Can I tell?
I guess make a nature check.
If it has to do with stone, I could probably help answer that as well.
That's valid.
Advantage?
So, yeah.
Sweet. Ha! Thank you for saving me from that nat 1.
Yeah. I mean, there are some patches of the ceiling that have already kind of begun to collapse. It's probably risky at best.
Okay. That's unfortunate. Okay. I will not try to kill us all.
Okay. So, yeah, poking around the seemingly doorless room, Dane is examining everything inch by inch, and I think Greg kind of walks in, and he's not being as meticulous, but maybe like just dragging a hand along the wall, and eventually, kind of across the way from the improvised door that you made from the entrance hallway, you find a somewhat well concealed door. It doesn't quite line up, and so your hand kind of traverses a little bump, and then Greg, you of course think you found something.
I would like to. I don't know. Can I like push it open?
Let us see. Yeah, so you lean into it, and yeah, there's a little bit of give, and there's kind of that scraping sound of stone on stone, and it opens to reveal another room about the same size. This one pretty well tossed. I mean, there are shattered bits of wood covering the floor in what everyone else perceives as a very cold room. It doesn't really bother Greg, but yeah. And in this room, there is a very visible to the north as the map is oriented that you gather would probably lead back out to that balcony.
I want to go open the door. Look out.
Okay. And
I just want to link this for future reference. Mostly for that last sentence.
gotcha. Yeah, so Dane, you make your way up to the door, and yeah, I mean, I think you can make out the fact that this is the same balcony that you had your battle with the berserkers on yesterday. You can see the steps leading down, and I think you can kind of see the dancing green light in places cascading down from the arrow slits on your left. The double doors on your left, much closer, still on the balcony, are still open, and you can see a circle of now unused bedrolls and piles of hay where you gather the berserker camp was.
I'll point out to Greg that that's where the direwolf is.
It's like right there on the corner in there.
I don't know. He went back in there.
I want to sprint out there into that room.
Okay, so the plan is to head into where the berserkers were?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to follow right behind him as well.
All right. So, yeah, you do that. And you barge in and look around, and you don't see a dire wolf. You see a set of double doors on the north wall, and what looks like a hole that's been dug into the southwestern wall of this chamber that if you approach it and kind of peer through, you can see snow on the ground. Like maybe this leads out somehow through the mountain face and could potentially serve as another way in to the Amber Temple.
Way in where we don't get shot at by a statue.
Yeah.
Can I like squeeze through that?
Yeah, you can do that. I mean, it's not comfortable, but I'm not going to make you roll for it or anything. So basically, it's a narrow fissure. It seems more natural than not. Like maybe there's been some additional digging done just to widen it a bit, but yeah, the gap itself is not much more than like 2 feet wide, at least in some of the more narrow places. But yeah, as you head out and look around, you find yourself at kind of the well, as you're looking at the temple, be the left side, just around the corner from the first of the 6 statues that line the front of the building.
There's no wolf.
There's no wolf.
I'm gonna disappointingly go back inside. Say I couldn't find anything.
Maybe it's through these other doors.
The wolves have learned how to use doors.
I don't know. I haven't seen his body from yesterday. It's got to be around somewhere.
I want to wield my great axe.
Okay. So is Yoan hanging with the rest of the group?
I'm going to be with Ron because I don't trust what he's up to.
Well, Ron seems to have gone with the rest of the group,
Yeah,
so
I'm just
that's
chilling
going to
with the
be
rest of the group.
I'm
Yeah,
just
so-
going to stick with Ron.
all right. So I'm going to round up everybody who's not currently in that little detachment, and
Come in.
do that. All right. So, Greg is, I don't know, seemingly gearing up. And
By the door.
I missed the first part of that. What was that?
In case there's anything out there.
Okay. Yeah, the double doors to your north are currently closed, but if you'd like, you could venture a peek through there.
Can I stealthily open the door?
Make a stealth check. All right. So yeah, you kind of like lean into the door, just trying to get it to ease open a little bit. Um, and instead of like that smooth opening, you hear this like, as the little sliver of visibility you're able to give yourself uh, is immediately lit up with green flame, and you see kind of hovering into your field of view a it looks like a human skull with glowing red eyes wreathed in green flame.
Has it noticed me?
It's staring right at you.
How far is it?
It is about 25 feet away.
I would like to rage and go
Well,
after it.
we'll roll initiative, and then we can get
Okay.
into that. So let me clear the old one. And I can roll for just about everybody, I think. Just do this. And initiative button. Oh, that's so nice. I missed that.
But you're now back to rolling me low. I think I was the last in the last one, last on this one.
Well, I'm
I'm getting
sorry,
higher
RNGesus doesn't like you.
I'm getting higher numbers finally.
Before you joined, I was always the last, and then when he was using this system, I was always last, and then we got rid of it, and then I wasn't always last.
You have angered RNGesus. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, so let me get that door out of your way so you can see what you're working with.
It's because I know it's tricks.
Oh, I don't want to have been there. I want to be over there. Sorry. I
That's
didn't
fine.
want to be in the doorway.
That makes sense. I think that's a thing that even Ron would.
I mean, I was going to be next to Ron, 5 feet away.
That works.
Okay. That's fine.
There. No, there. There.
Man, Roll20's having a hard time with this big old map. Okay. Cool. So, if Esmeralda's up first, she, I think, is going to try and save her invisibility, knowing that there's probably going to be more shit going on. um, all right. So, you watch as Esmeralda says something under her breath and makes a quick gesture, and you see that where a single Esmeralda was once standing, there are now 4 of them, all kind of moving in and out of each other's spaces, making it very difficult to discern where the actual form of Esmeralda is. And as you watch this strange phenomenon going on, she is going to head across the room. And do what she can to get ready for the next round. Muriel going in, I would assume she walks in hybrid form. Probably tactical positioning as well. Do that. And that's it for her this turn. So now, Greg, having just pushed the door open and seen a flame skull on the other side, what are you doing? Are you muted?
Oh. I would like to rage.
Okay.
And then... I guess I'll just run to the first one.
Okay.
Is that still within range of the first one?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I will attack it with my great axe twice.
Attacking the first one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, those are both going to hit. Yeah, that's your regular damage, and then your rage damage is the second one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. So 17, 22, 32, 35. Okay. All right, so yeah, you come in swinging and you're taking like visible chunks and gouges out of the thing as you swing at it. Yeah, it's like damn near shattered, but still there, still hovering and sort of shattering its teeth menacingly at you. Just barely holding itself together.
Snarl at it.
Okay. And I assume that's it.
Yep.
Dane, what you doing?
I'm gonna run up as well
All right.
and swing at it.
Okay. All right. First swing connects and like just turns the thing to powder. It like scatters against the wall and just settles into a pile.
All right. Can't reach the other one, so
Okay.
I'll just stand behind Greg.
All right. So let's see what this one's gonna do.
Give me your best shot.
Mm. Okay. So I think you see a familiar glowing ray of light focus on a point a bit behind Greg and Dane as the thing is going to try and basically cast a fireball that will hit the two of you guys, but not itself. And so that means I'm going to need a dex save. Yeah, the fire does spread around corners, so I'm going to need a dex save from Greg, yep, and Dane, yep, and Esmeralda and Muriel. And 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. Ron is just outside the reach of this thing.
Good.
Good job.
Okay. All right. So Greg and Dane, you DC. All right, you both fail that save,
Alright.
but there is a resistance in play for Greg, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So... All right. Dane, you take 32 points of fire damage. Greg, you take half that, 16. The one further down in the room is going to not cast Fireball.
I want to use that just to reduce some of the damage.
Okay. Cool. So, all right. This one is going to spew fire at Greg, the closest threat. It's going to be 2 attack rolls from this guy. First one's a 9, so that's a negative. Second one is a 24.
Yeah.
And so the raw damage on that is 10 points of fire damage. So you reduce that to 5.
Alright.
And I think it's going to kind of hover back to the corner just to get a little more clearance. Not a whole lot else it can do. Yeah, I mean, realistically, this thing doesn't know about attacks of opportunity, so I think it's going to try and scoot away. So, oh, you used your reaction, didn't you?
Yeah, with the thing that heal me, or not heal, but reduce damage, yeah.
Yeah, okay. But you know what? I attacked with it, and then I moved on. Kind of cheap. So that one stays there. Ron, what are you doing?
Well, I'm going to reach out mentally and say, "Hey, Melkar, I think they're gonna kill what killed you."
Serves them right. Bastard.
Well, I'm gonna help. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. And in channeling my best Malkar, I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast at that one.
Okay. Yeah, 23s are definitely going to hit, and so 2 blasts of energy come flying from your hands, and you watch them kind of sail all the way down the hall, and poof, poof, hit the thing in the forehead a couple times.
And just for flavor, I hold out like my arm like it's a gun, like I'm aiming, and then just boom, boom. And essentially fire blasts of energy at him.
Ron is ahead of his time.
Yep. After that, I'm gonna blow on my finger, like it's like it's a smoking gun. I'm gonna say, point down the hallway and say, "Dane, don't let Greg show you up. You got this." And I'm gonna inspire Dane.
Very good. Okay.
And then that'll end my turn.
Cool. So then that brings us to Rictavio, who once again finds himself in a ranged battle, which is really not his strong suit. And so I think he is just going to move up so that if by some strange circumstance he gets called on for melee, he'll be able to maybe do something. Yoan, what are you doing?
Okay, so go here so I can at least see what's on the battle map.
That's a good thing.
Okay, so there's 2 more.
Mm-hmm.
How far is that?
80?
Okay. It was off my screen. And I didn't feel like dealing with the toggle. Sorry, I couldn't really plan until I saw the battle map.
Excuses. No,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Okay, I'm gonna hang out in this corner.
Okay.
And
Next to the corpse.
what?
Next to the corpse.
Or I guess I'll actually hang out. I changed my mind. I'll hang out here. Still next to the corpse. I will cast Thorn Whip.
Okay. I assume at that one that you'd been kind of pointing towards before.
Yeah, the one within
Cool.
30 feet.
Yeah, that would make sense. So yeah, you produce this thorn whip and send it flying toward Flame Skull against the arrow slit there. And you do hit. Would you like to pull it closer to you?
Yes.
Okay.
On top of its fallen brethren, so that Dane can also hit it.
Okay.
And I want to move.
Put that
I
there.
changed my mind. I have something, so.
Okay. Yeah. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay.
6 points of damage.
Big 6.
Yes. I moved it into a more advantageous position for us.
You did. I mean, for starters, you moved it into a place where Esmeralda can now attack,
See?
which she's going to do. So she runs up and does Esmeralda stuff. In this case, that being, well, first of all, she's still got this crazy, like, trippy 4-in-1 thing going on. So it's difficult to really see what she's doing, but you can see the effects as, like, all 4 of her first produce the rapier from her side and seem to stab at the thing a couple times. One of those hitting. And then with her other hand, she pulls a silvered short sword from the other side. And seems to miss with that one as well, actually. Kind of out of the norm for her, but still, 10 points of damage is 10 points of damage. Oh. Except, because that's a rapier and it does piercing damage, it doesn't seem to do all that much.
Oh. Well, it's damage.
It's damage. All right. Ron, I think you notice Muriel is kind of hunkered in the corner, not looking great. She got hit pretty hard by that fireball. And yeah, I think she is going to kind of take up a more defensive position because one more decent hit, and she doesn't look like she's going to be up for much longer.
I'll say take a knee, Muriel. You're good.
All right, and Greg, in the thick of things, what are you doing?
Uh,
I want to yell at him to leave this one alone. I want this one.
attack me if I run away. Oh well. Why is this away? I'm gonna like run right up next to it. Take the opportunity attack.
Okay.
Does that thing even have a melee?
Technically, it does not.
Then I'm going to recklessly swing at this twice.
Okay. 22 hits and 17 hits. So, not bad. Yeah, and so you take your great axe and just and yeah, with those two strikes, you like crumble the thing. You watch as the flame kind of fades, and the chunks of skull are scattered against the wall in the corner. All right.
Let me see how far away that was. I'm gonna move 15 feet from back. And that's it, my turn.
Okay. Dane. Yeah, okay. Um so no problem. I mean, like butter, the sun sword just carves through. And where Greg has been like, I mean, sure, an axe is a bladed weapon, but it's brute force. With this, it's like you just slice right through the hovering flame skull in front of you twice, and you see like four neat little pieces just whoosh, collapse and scatter across the floor.
Were they undead?
They were undead.
Ooh, even better.
Yeah. And it seems you find yourselves at relative peace in the hallway now, which may give you a better idea what you're looking at. So obviously it's 20 feet wide, 70 feet long. It's an arched corridor, sheathed in amber. The southern half, where you walked through, is scorched pretty much throughout that first 20 feet or so. And as represented on the map, there is a charred corpse lying there under a burned fur cloak, even more so after the most recent detonation. Several amber doors lead from this hall, and 3 arrow slits, as you know very well by now, are cut into the east wall.
Can I peek through this top one?
Yeah, so you're gonna peek through those double doors there?
No, I guess one on the top left.
Oh, that one. Okay. All right. Sneaky, not sneaky?
Not sneaky.
Because it worked out so well last time. Okay. So yeah, you just kind of give a tug on the door, and there's kind of that same grinding sound you're used to, but you pull it open, and let me get the door out of the way there. All right. So, dominating this room is a 12-foot tall model of a dark castle with high walls and tall spires. Behind it, tucked in a corner, are some ruined furnishings and a wooden chest.
I want to rummage through the chest.
Okay. So yes, there is a chest. And you poke through it. Let me take a look at some. All right. So you begin to rummage through the chest, and there's really not much left in it. Like, you open it up, and there's a lot of paper, most of it blank. A few with some kind of weird geometric designs scrawled on them. And just as you're about to kind of close the chest in frustration, I think maybe you give it a punch or a shake or something, and you hear a rattling sound at the bottom. It seems there's a false bottom to this chest.
I want to smash it open.
Okay. And so you do that, and you punch through, and there's a little bit of give, but then you hit something solid, just seemingly on the other side of the false bottom.
Oh, damn it. Did I break
But
it?
well, I mean, you broke the false bottom, and there's a crack kind of like running vertical through the through that bottom, and you can see a little bit between the two pieces now what looks like a book.
You know, like, pry open the chest, like its bottom.
Okay. So yeah, you like pull out the two broken pieces of the false bottom, and sitting there at the apparent true bottom of the chest is a reddish colored book with a picture of a man's face, with a long flowing beard, and some sort of weird design carved into his forehead.
Pull the book out and go back to the group with it.
Okay. What's everyone else doing as Greg is rummaging through the top side room there?
I want to go in there with him and look at that model.
Okay.
I'm inspecting Greg, trying to figure out how he is not cold.
So everybody's just kind of like awkwardly following Greg.
I'm inspecting the skeleton that's in there.
Okay. Yeah. So
See if
I
it
mean-
has anything on it, any way to identify who it was, stuff like that.
cool. So yeah, those of you who are following Greg, you're kind of loitering around this room with a large representation of a castle situated in the middle of it. And I think, well, I guess I'll leave it up to Taylor as to whether or not Ron realizes, but this is a representation of Castle Ravenloft.
You know what? After inspecting Greg and realizing I don't know how the fuck his skin works, I'll turn around and look and go, "Oh, hey, I've been here." Looking at the giant castle. I'm gonna run around and to like is it the gate and everything, or is it just the castle?
Yeah, no, it's like the full grounds of Castle Raven.
How big of a scale?
I think the model itself stands, what did I say, 12 feet tall?
Something like that.
Yeah, 12 feet tall.
All right. Well, I guess I'll step over the fence, like over the gate around the outside and walk up to like the front door of the model,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll open it up and look inside. What do I see?
Familiar sight. Large entry hall. It's not as detailed as the real deal, but yeah, you see like the small kind of vestibule area that you remember being to sort of the main hall of the first floor of the castle.
Is there is there? I know there's a fireplace, but is there a fireplace in the model?
Um, in that room, no.
Is there like? Can I find a chimney for this model?
Sure. Yeah.
I want to look at the model to see if there's any hidden entrances to the castle.
Yeah, I want to inspect the chimney.
Okay. So as far as Dane's request, I guess go ahead and make an investigation check.
Not those again.
I mean, not really. And then poking around.
Eventually, when I get in there, before I forget, I want to know if there's a way to open up this model so that you can look through.
Okay. Well, yeah. Let's. If you've got stuff that you want to do in there, let's resolve the body thing, so that way everybody can kind of go in and bounce ideas off one another and whatnot. So you are investigating the charred corpse and such.
Yes.
Okay. So, looking around the immediate surroundings here, you see a pile of ash next to this person. Let's see. So, most of the stuff on him is just charred beyond recognition, much like someone else. But it would appear that one thing did survive. There's a staff lying, still kind of clutched in the hands of this charred body. And for all of the abuse that everything else seems to have taken, it looks to be in pretty good shape.
Okay. My first assumption would be that it was magical, because it seems magical things don't take damage to these. Do I know anything besides the staff? Besides that it is a staff?
Make an intelligence check just to connect some dots here. Okay. You gather that the pile of ashes next to the body was quite possibly a spell book. But you don't see anything like there are no pendants or anything that say like I am a member of the order of such and such. It's just this is probably a mage.
Okay. Cool. Okay, well I guess I'll pick up the staff and then go to the next room.
Okay. Sent you a whisper.
Me?
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so you do that. And you are then moving on to the next room.
Okay. Gosh. That's gonna need to take some consideration.
Yeah. So you walk in, you see Ron and Dane already kind of poking around at this 12-foot tall model of a pretty sizable and imposing castle.
Yeah, I'm like up on the model.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I'll ask. Is there a way to like open up this model?
I'll grab the roof and tug up.
I will look for, like actual things like hinges and such.
I'm just gonna grab the roof and try to heave it up.
Ron, don't break it.
Ron's gonna do it. So.
I'm assisting Ron.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. So, yeah, go ahead and make a strength check, guys.
Would be considered pulling / lifting.
Yeah.
Advantage.
Oh, damn!
So much for the model.
Yeah, so there's this like cracking sound as the roof is peeled off of this scale model of Castle Ravenloft. And yeah, looking inside, I mean, you can see the rust of um
The what? You cut out there.
can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. You can see the rough outline of a number of rooms, not like furnished or anything, to that extent of detail, but you get a good idea of the floor plan. And I think at this point, Yoan, you notice that there aren't any hinges or anything. This was apparently meant to just stay like this.
I want to ask them to rip the next layer off so I can look at the dungeon. They seem to enjoy this.
I kind of rub my arm. I'm a little sore.
I spit in both my hands and rub them together. I just reach down with both hands and rip up.
Okay. Go ahead and make another strength check.
Yeah, Ron just kind of backs away and lets him do his thing.
I'm gonna,
Alright.
try and sketch these layouts.
What's
Okay.
left of the place?
Yeah, so I think the majority of the castle kind of just gives at that point. It kind of collapses in on itself. I mean, you can see there does look to be a dungeon, like a row of cells of sorts. A few other rooms that seem perhaps connected to somehow relevant to such things, but it's hard to really say what any of it is for besides the stuff that's obviously broken up into cells.
Okay.
I'm looking, like, still behind the fireplace. Oop, I cut out. I'm looking behind the fireplace.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you might see a few places where like the shape of a fireplace is engraved into a wall just for reference, but there don't seem to be any like cavities or anything of that sort. I think I know what you're going for here.
Okay. No spot for, like, a letter or anything like that.
No.
Alright.
Is anything else ripped off?
I
Well,
just-
I'm all set in here. You two can put that back together now.
I'll
I'll go
use
look
it.
at the other rooms.
I'll use these plans for when we actually go to Storm Castle Ravenloft. Need to analyze them right now. Make sure there's no other fireballs coming at us.
Gingerly try and put the house back together in order from which I ripped it off.
I think you do it. You get it kind of like somewhat close. The roof is kind of listing off to one side, and as you're somewhat content in the way you put it together, you turn around and you just hear as it collapses.
I'll message Yoan and say, this new guy scares me. He's kind of strong.
We should arm wrestle sometime.
you and him or you and me?
Yes.
I'm weak, though.
I'm strong.
But is he stronger than you?
That's why we should arm wrestle.
Okay. I'll be the judge.
I want to show them that book though. Whenever we get the chance.
Okay.
Can I Arcana check the book?
Yeah. Go ahead and make that check.
I'm proficient in arcane things.
Yeah, so like you look through it, and I think you recognize the symbol on the forehead of the man on the cover of this book, as well as a number of like magical sigils and stuff kind of etched into the spine and along the kind of edges of each page.
Mm-hmm.
Enough to indicate that, yeah, this is probably magical in some way. Hard to say exactly what it does without a proper identification, but probably a magical book.
Well, in that case, I'm gonna just... oh, did we ever get the pearl off Melkar?
I was gonna ask that.
Sure.
Okay. If we did, then I will cast Identify
Yeah.
on this book.
Okay. So yeah, you take a minute and set everything up. Or are you ritual casting?
Nah. Let's just fucking straight cast.
Okay.
I'll spend the
So
slot.
yeah, 1 minute later, you come to the conclusion that this is a tome of understanding.
Okay.
And in game terms,
You can
let's see.
identify things.
Well,
Identify this book. That means that helps you identify.
it helps you understand things. It's a little different. This book contains intuition and insight exercises, and its words are charged with magic. If you spend 48 hours over a period of 6 days or fewer studying the book's contents and practicing its guidelines, your wisdom score increases by 2, as does your maximum for that score. The manual then loses its magic, but regains it in a century.
Huh. I will say, this book, if you read it, it makes you wiser.
You could use that.
That would be pretty helpful for me.
I'll just hand it to Yoan.
I will take it.
Can I get that back after you're done with it, though?
Sure.
I may have use of that still.
How fast do I have to read it?
You need to put 48 hours into it over the course of 6 days or fewer.
Okay. So that'll just move my wisdom up 2 points.
Yeah, and your maximum wisdom up 2 points. So, like, instead of being capped at 20 barring magical item reinforcement, you'd be capped at 22.
Oh, okay. My wisdom is not 19 or 20, so
So you'd be at
Maybe
20 out
someday.
of 22.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that'll be good.
Off to the next room.
Being that that's my spellcasting fire, I think everyone
Yeah.
wants that to be higher.
I'll say, hey, Yoan, would you were checking something out in the last room. Find anything?
Just the staff.
Oh.
And, there was a mage. He had his book out there and such.
Ooh. A mage,
But
you say?
The book is charred.
Oh,
beyond recognition. There's nothing useful except the staff.
you want me to
Which-
look at that staff?
Sure.
Okay, I'll take the staff, and why the fuck not? I'll cast Identify again.
And to clarify, not ritual.
Nope, just
Okay.
1 minute.
All right. So yeah, 1 quick minute later, you determine that this is a staff of frost. It is obviously a focus, requiring attunement by a druid, sorcerer, warlock, or wizard. Whoever holds it has resistance to cold damage while holding the staff. Let's see. The staff has 10 charges. While holding it, you can use an action to expend 1 or more of its charges to basically do stuff. Cone of Cold, Fog Cloud, Ice Storm, or Wall of Ice. It regains
How
1d6.
often can you do cone of cold?
That's 5 charges out of 10, so you could do it potentially
I mean-
up to twice in a day.
Okay. I'm like, that's a 5th level spell.
Yeah. No, you could do, like, Cone of Cold takes 5 out of 10, Fog Cloud takes 1, Ice Storm takes 4, Wall of Ice takes 4. The staff
So
regains,
they do it kind of the spell level.
Yeah, that seems about right. Staff regains 1d6 plus 4 expended charges daily at dawn. If you expend the last charge, roll a d20. On a 1, the staff turns to water and is destroyed.
Oh boy. So that's only if you run out of charges, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And roll a 1.
And roll.
Alright, I will give it back to Yoan and say, I will message all of this to Yoan. And then say...
Do you have to be a magic user to be able to use
Nope,
this?
druids. That's you.
Only druids can use it?
Druids, wizards, everything but bards.
And fighters.
I'm like, fighters can use it?
Well, no, every caster but bards. So...
Giving me spells that I already have.
Well, you get a free cast of it.
Yeah.
So that's pretty baller.
Yeah. But it's not like I can replace those spells on my spell sheet. I can't. Those are the spells I always have.
Well,
Not all of them, but Ice Storm and Cone of Cold.
still free spells.
Knock back.
Well, yeah, I guess I will keep the staff.
Okay. Ryan just kind of turns around and kicks the model.
Or what's left of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shall we check out the rest of these rooms?
Sure.
All right. So I'm guessing next is the door that Greg is by.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm just gonna be behind Dane for now.
Okay.
I'm gonna be wherever I need to be.
You open the door to reveal a hallway, 20 feet long, 10 feet wide, bare stone with an amber door on each end.
Is it like pure amber?
The doors are, yeah.
I'd like to peek on through this door.
Do I know why the doors are made out of amber?
Because it's the Amber Temple.
Or is that why it's called the Amber Temple? Chicken or the egg?
That's Ron's response.
You open the door and you find a set of stairs leading down.
But I'm asking the DM.
I don't think you do know.
Okay.
Going back to the
Uh,
final door first.
Sorry, I was just wondering if amber has some magical properties that I would know that would make it useful in the containment of evil creatures.
I don't know that it's necessarily instrumental in containing evil things, but you know,
That was
place
more
has to have
of
a
my
name.
question. So
Yeah.
Wherever they went, I want to go because I can't. I can't see shit.
I can't see. My eyes. 1 second.
Back out in the hallway.
Okay.
Okay.
So, tabling that path for the time being, you head back and check out the first door in the hall. And opening that, you see stone blocks resembling tables stand in the center of this room, covered in dust. Carved into the stone walls are niches filled with hundreds of dusty bottles. Cobwebs hang from wooden ladders that lean against the walls.
So there's a bunch of vials on the wall.
Yeah, basically.
are they full or empty? Or some mix?
Somewhere in between. They look like perhaps at one point they held a number of interesting concoctions, but it looks as though the contents of the vials have more or less dried up. So there are little bits of kind of remains of whatever would have been in the bottles, but the fluids themselves seem to be long gone.
Okay.
In all of them?
Yep.
Can I heave up one of these stones and try and drop it down and break it?
Just cuz.
See if there's anything inside.
I'm gonna step back and say, "Whoa, we got a badass over here," and I'm gonna inspire him.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, these things are probably, easily 5-6 feet long. Yeah, I mean, go ahead. Make a strength check. All right. So yeah, you kind of squat down and situate yourself just so, and there's maybe a little more grunting than is comfortable for a lot of people in the room, but yeah, you're able to lift one of these things up, at least enough to look under. There's nothing under. You kind of slam it down, and like a crack kind of spider webs up the side of it, you can see, and it sort of collapses in on itself. No, seems like a solid block of stone.
Damn it.
It's like, damn.
Well, I hope nothing that wants to kill us heard that.
I looked at Yo and is that something you can do?
Maybe if my arms were longer.
Okay.
Go back down the stairs now.
Oh. I found the dire wolf, guys.
Yeah, we'll head out, I guess, and go down the stairs.
Yeah. Unless we want to see what's at the end of the hallway in the double doors.
I'm not entirely sure I want to open those and see what's behind those double doors.
I can let other people do it.
Well,
You can try.
I'll tell you what. How about you guys deliberate that for a second while I release the dire wolf?
Okay.
Alright.
You can try.
Release the Kraken.
What do you think, sir? Okay.
El Dire Wolf needs to be released.
She feels lonely now.
Why, is Pete gone? Oh,
He left a couple hours ago.
rip. I thought he was staying a lot longer than that.
Just 2 weeks.
Huh.
He was so happy to see my parents. He sat and he's like, I behaved the entire time, even though he didn't.
Yeah, except when the times when he literally cup checked me with his nose, like 3 or 4 times the time I was there.
Well, he also ran away, and he also ate bunny poop until he threw up, and he also went swimming.
Oh, he went swimming in the pond.
Yeah.
Little fish garden.
Without any fish,
Yeah.
especially because he broke the percolator. That's a big word. Yeah, I know, right?
Jeez.
I'll be right back.
It's not like he meant to break it. He just landed on top. It wasn't in good condition to begin with, I don't think.
Yeah.
So. My poor friend has had really a poor time with his pets recently. Because he moved in with his girlfriend, and his girlfriend had a cat, and